And how is it going, everyone? Welcome to I Wanna Quench the Castle Blaze, my own fun game. After a month of release, I wanted to play it, so here it is, basically. And I've seen the people that played it to struggle a lot, so I'm here to hopefully not do the same, but I'm gonna do something that none of them did, which is playing with controller. Because this is a game that was meant to be played with controller. So I'm here to show it. This is, by the way, native controller support, of course. This is my clear file, but we're obviously not gonna go there. We're gonna go to a new one and see how that goes. You are ready to quench. Also, how is it going, Draynor? Yeah, I know you have a lot of things to say about this game. Very positive ones, I hope. I got a hidden talent for making funnies. Thanks, I appreciate it. Draynor, by the way, here is one of the people that got absolutely fucked in many screens. So yeah, don't trust anything he says. But yeah. Keep it hidden, fuck you. Wasn't expecting that. Unbelievable. Keep it hidden. How you keep yourself hidden? God damn it. But yeah, let me know if the sound is fine, by the way. I mean, it should be, but if it's too loud, let me know. But yeah, in any case, we start here in a forest with a lot of light bugs. And basically, the whole thing about this game is that it's a game about champ refreshers. The first one being a fast horizontal champ refresher taken straight from the Shampoo Refrentur. Well, I wanna go with the Shampoo Refrentur is the full name of the fan game, made by Piece of Cheese 87. These are some very good gimmicks. I don't know if I implemented them well though. They are certainly good gimmicks. They can be fun if implemented correctly, which might or might not be the case here. Probably not. Yeah, it's fine. I mean, there are a lot of checkpoints, but as you can see, checkpoints like this one that are quite precise. Well, some of them are even a lot more precise than I thought. See, like, a checkpoint like this is fine by me, because I mean, the next checkpoint is right here, you know? But there are some other checkpoints that I didn't intend them to be that precise, because they are long ones. I mean, they appear mostly later. Like in the first screen I tried to do stuff that wasn't that hard, you know? Nice. Also, this jump is not possible, by the way. Even though it looks tempting, it's not. I mean, it is tempting, it's just not possible. That's a shame. But yeah, it happens. There are some skips in the game, though. Some skips that I didn't know about. Some others that I was more or less aware. But yeah, truly something fitting for a speedrunner. I mean, probably not, but yeah, it's fine. So one of the things about this gimmick that I modify is that, at least if by default in this engine, when you hit one of these things while you're flying, you stop. Well, not stop, but like your double speed disappears. So what I did here is to make it keep going, because otherwise I feel like it will be too dull, personally. That they wouldn't be very nice to do. Yeah, it's alright. Now, there are some parts that I'm very scared. because I thought it wouldn't be a big deal when I made the game, and then I saw the people that played it struggle, and because of that I feel like I'm gonna struggle out of nervousness. That ain't good, but it's fine. This part, by the way, was nerfed. One of the few parts that I nerfed back when the game, well, when it was already finished. Like this thing here, this champ here used to have 2 mini spikes at the top. Then it used to have 1, and then I just removed it because it was too hard. It was obviously not impossible, but too hard for being the first zone. Now there is nothing up there. It used to have 2 mini spikes. And yeah, it's a little bit too early in the game for that. That being said, a checkpoint like this one, for example, is also quite precise on the very final champ, which is something that I more or less knew. Just that I thought it was a skill issue by me. But no, it's actually hard. Like, that last champ is hard. And I was aware of that one. But as I say, a lot of these things, and this one included, I attributed them to skill issue on my part. I mean, it is a skill issue, you can say, but it's also true that it's pretty precise. And it shouldn't be. Not for this first zone. This one I was fully aware. Well, and this, believe it or not, this screen was unmodified since the first time I made it. And the first time I made it, you didn't keep your momentum, as I said. Well, it's not about momentum, it's about speed. You didn't keep your speed when you grab another one of these. So essentially, checkpoints like this one were even harder before. So that's something. But yeah, I guess that was essentially a big nerf. Having allowing the speed to keep going even after getting another refresher. I remember this checkpoint in particular being a nightmare to do. But yeah, as you can see now, it's not that bad. So this is the first screen that the famous, or well, infamous I should say, the 16 pixel gaps start appearing. I didn't even know there was a term for that. Didn't even know that they were something disliked. Well, now I do. And I mean, I understand the complaint, but I don't dislike them. It's just that maybe they feel a little bit random. They are very precise after all, so like landing on something like this might feel quite random after all. But it's hard to calculate this stuff. I don't know for good needle players if falling in these 16 pixel gaps is something that they can consistently do, or that they also find it random. I can't tell, I don't know. But yeah, I personally find it a little bit random. But again, it's just like a lot of things, I just assume that this was a skill issue. But yeah, it's a little bit of skill issue, a little bit of, you know, just not being very nice champs in general. It is what it is. Now this checkpoint that is here, I'm pretty sure that it's unmodified from the first version, and it's a problem because of this champ. Like, I knew what to expect there, but this is a champ that I'm not happy about, because you cannot know what comes up here. So you should essentially champ to the right, like here, and you don't know you're supposed to go left, so you die. So that's something I don't like, and I keep it that way. I don't know why. I guess out of laziness. But I was aware that that wasn't a good screen transition. But yeah, I should have changed it. I mean, it's the only, for what I remember, the only bad screen transition in the game. There are some others that are kinda dangerous, but I wouldn't say they are bullshit, but that one is bullshit. I guess the only good thing is that the checkpoint before it is not that hard. So, you know, it's not that big of a deal if you die. And once you die, you already know what to do. Right? Also, those diagonal things that you see there, like the diagonal wood, that doesn't have a hitbox. It's simply a tile set, but a part of a tile set. It doesn't have any object associated to that, I guess. I don't think this engine supports diagonal hitboxes, or at least not diagonal blocks. So this is a zigzag thingy. Oh, I got it, nice. Not sure how well I can do zigzags with this gamepad that is still relatively new and not wear down, but... Well, got to the end of the first zone, so essentially we reached like the top of the trees. Now we are supposed to be outside. Yes, the trees were able to hide all these mountains. That is indeed what the case is. You know, like that, there are some places with biodiversity, but I don't think with this amount of biodiversity very close to each other. But I just really wanted the second zone to be here. So the gimmick is water, but it's refreshing water, which means that it still keeps the idea of champ refresher technically. Hey Wasabi, how is it going? How many Boshi eyeball moments have you found yet? I mean, there are a couple of, as I was saying, very precise champs that I probably didn't want them to be very precise, or rather, I didn't think they were that precise and it was just a skill issue. But it turns out that they were precise. Hey, how is it going? By the way, this is the last zone that I added decorations to. I wanted every single zone to have something animated in the background, but I didn't know what to have animated here. So I ended up going for sun rays, which I kinda had to do. I mean, I wouldn't say from scratch, because the Game Maker editor is very good, but I had to do this particle system myself, essentially. This is the screen that I feel that... Hold up. Damn it. You can do that from either the top or the bottom. I think I find it easier to do from the top, but I think everyone that I watch play this did that from the bottom, which is cool. I mean, that they find their better strategies, but I feel like it's easier from the top because you're not very limited, or not that limited. But yeah, something else that I was gonna say, or I think I kinda already say, but this is probably the first screen that does get quite precise with the champs. Yeah, as you can see, it is possible to do from the top. But yeah, you can do top or bottom, it doesn't matter, it's whatever you prefer. I prefer top. But yeah. I wouldn't really say this screen is as much of a difficulty spike like the one that comes afterwards. The one that comes afterwards, like right after this one, I will say that it's the very first difficulty spike in the game, and probably the one part that... yeah, it's hard. and it kind of starts showing that the game is quite hard. There's also one checkpoint that I personally struggle a lot with, because I'm not very good at short jumps like this. But I saw Echo and Draynor do this checkpoint super fast. I personally struggle with checkpoints like that are very... they require small jumps. It's okay though. Well, this one I also struggle, but I also saw them struggle with this one, so we should struggle with this together. It's fine. just a little struggle. Nothing out of the ordinary. I'm not a big fan of having like these water barges flying out of nowhere. But I feel like it's very hard to do water needle stuff without having the water being in nonsensical places, you know? So as much as I don't like seeing this water float, it would be very limiting if it wasn't like that. If I just wanted to make the water like act as a real fluid, not as in having physics of a fluid, but I mean like being in places that make more sense. So this is the first checkpoint, as I say, that things get quite hard. People find a skip for this. It's essentially you can jump from one of these to one of these, even though the intention is to do left, right, left, right. I personally don't want to do any skip, because I feel like as a developer I should do the things that are intended, you know. So I'm not gonna skip. Well, I don't even know if I can easily skip, because the people that found this skip thought it was easy. I didn't think it was easy. Onto the part I hated. Yeah, this part, it's as I say, the first difficulty spike. This is where things start actually getting hard. Compared to the first 12 screens, which are like everything before this one is actually quite hard. Almost. I think I also, when I was making this screen, I think I remember nerfing it a lot. I mean, when I finally decided that it was okay, I don't think I touched it again, but before deciding it was okay, I had to reposition a lot of stuff, because this is a hard screen. Or rather, it's a hard checkpoint. So I do remember seeing, I think both Echo and Draynor struggled here. Nice. An important thing to note is that the ceiling is here, since you're supposed to have the sky above you. There is nothing forbidding you from jump up. This skip is not possible though. Echo tried it a lot, I think Draynor even tried it a lot, and it doesn't work. It just doesn't. This part, I was surprised to see people struggle with it that much. Wasn't expecting this second checkpoint of this screen to be that hard when, as you can see, I can do it like that. Like, I think Draynor struggled a shit ton on this checkpoint, and it's the kind of checkpoint that doing with a controller is way easier than with a keyboard. Like, those sort of turns are so much easier to do. Now, this is one of the first screens that I actually shared. Well, one of the first and only screens that I shared when the game was still being developed. Mostly because I really like the way it looks. That it's a very pretty looking screen, honestly. But yeah. Cokes. I mean, there are a lot of screens that I feel that they look pretty. And they probably look too pretty for their own good, because some of them might sacrifice that beauty, or rather, they sacrifice gameplay to have that beauty. In fact, I remember there was an advice that I've been told: when you make an idle game, the water should go... Hold up. They basically told me that the water should go in a... wait, what's the word? Layer. In a layer that is... be behind the player. So that way you can clearly see the the player. But I feel that I didn't wanna do that because, you know, I just wanted to, you know, make it seem more immersive. Well, here immersion in a literal sense, because you are going into the water, but yeah. Essentially, one of those things where I consciously sacrifice gameplay for the sake of making the game look good. But yeah, it is what it is. Honestly, I don't know, I feel like I kinda had an obsession with making this game look, well, good for me. I mean, good is subjective, and especially when it comes to judging how something looks, but yeah. Now, in case you haven't realized by now, the whole point of this screen is that everything is made with these structures, you know? These structures that are like 3 spikes with 2 spikes on the edges. On the edges, or however you call that. Yeah. Nice. And that is a leap of faith, but see, these are the kind of things that I was very conscious about. A champ like this, you don't know what's on the other side, and precisely because of that you cannot have any obstacles here. Now, this screen is another one of those screens that I had to nerf after the game was done. And it's still hard. That's the messed up part about it. Even after a nerf, this screen is still fucked up. Essentially the nerf, I think there were 2 nerfs. There was supposed to be 2 mini spikes here, like essentially parallel to this one. There was supposed to be 2 here. And then I think, yeah, this part, this spike here used to be like 1 block higher. I think that's what I nerf. I don't think I nerf anything else here. But yeah. Oh, also, if you pay attention to the upper right, you start seeing our objective. It's none other than the castle, with the blaze shining on top of it. But yeah, that's where we're heading. It's still a little bit far, as you can see, but don't worry, we're gonna get there. Surely. I mean, not today, but we'll get there eventually. Yeah, you never noticed that? Yeah, I mean, it's not that easy to notice, but essentially, the more you go to the right, the more you get closer to like the mountain on the right, and the more that you see the castle appearing. It's something that I like doing a lot, like actually trying to make the game seem like an actual place with continuity. Because it's what I feel, like there are two things that I feel that are lacking in fan games in general, which is, first of all, the fact that the title is usually not related to the game at all. Like the title is basically just whatever, and the game has nothing to do with the title. That's one thing I don't like, but it's done a lot. And another thing that I don't like is that most fan games really are just a collection of random shit put together. I don't like that either. I like things to have some continuity. Well, even Boshi is like that. Like, Boshi between levels has nothing to do with each other. Even though I love that game, but there is one thing I don't love. Also, here, jumping here, which is what I'm doing, is exactly what you don't have to do. You should just fall here and double jump around here. I don't know what I'm jumping, because I'm a moron, I guess. I cook? Maybe. I try to make my titles related to the game. Yeah, I mean, well, in terms of avoidances, it usually tends to be easier. Because in an avoidance, what you usually have is nice. Sorry, I couldn't talk because that part is very... You need to focus there. I was out to say that... yeah, in avoidances you can simply use the name of the song. You can just say, I wanna something, and that something is either the name of the song or something related to the name of the song to make sense grammatically, you know? That sort of stuff. It's understandable. Alright, so this was... Yeah, that's a drop jump. I'm not good at drop jumps, obviously. One thing I don't like is when the game title is just the song title with no changes. I feel like it should be... I mean, obviously... anyone can do whatever they want, but I feel like it should be something with I wanna, like always, and then the song title. I mean, there are some cases where, like, you know, I wanna a left zero that they are not very creative, but at least it's distinctive. Then you have, well, like the one that you made, I think it's called I Wanna Eat the Macaron, right? Which makes sense grammatically, and it's related to the song that is called Macaron, right? This was like this. Nice. Yeah. It's I like when that's the case. Also, I feel like this was the first screen that I made that I like the way I made like the composition of the screen. Like, instead of being a bunch of random jumps that didn't look like anything, I like how this one kinda looks like its own place, you know? Like it could be part of an actual location. Like, even with some spikes closing out stuff. By the way, there is a skip here. You can... It's possible to do this jump on a single jump and then double jump here. I cannot do that, or maybe I can, but I never thought it was possible, so yeah. That's an unintended skip. Well, I mean, most skips are unintended skips, but I'm not gonna do it. Well, again, even if it was easy to do, I wouldn't do it because I wanna do it all the intended way, but even if I wanted to do it, it's very hard for me to do that jump straight. But yeah, the idea was just jumping in to get closer and then the second jump to get over that spike. That was the idea. Essentially, the main theme of this particular screen is essentially how you can look at places that feel like they are reachable, but they are out of reach, like this or like this, right? I like that sort of stuff, like, kinda gives a sense of, I wanna get there. But if you wanna get there, you gotta go the long way, right? So I personally am a fan of this screen. But yeah. That's the intended way. Oh, not the intended way to do that though. Right? This jump is hard to do, by the way. Yeah. It's hard to land on that water down there and press jump at the right time. It's very easy to press it either too late or too early. It's fine. Especially like when the game title is more creative with the song title. One example being I Wanna Be the Immature Life. The song for that is What Children Are Made Of. Okay. Yeah, I mean, after all, since here we don't have any creative restrictions, we can just pop off with what we do. Yeah. Fuck. Didn't make that jump. It's fine. Also pretty sure that when I first started doing this screen, the waterfall on the left was heavily nerfed. Damn, I keep pressing that too late. Maybe a good idea will be to spam jump. Might work better than trying to press it at the right time, because I mean that it's not like you need to be precise with that, you know. Like I could choose a spam. As long as I don't press any direction, it should be fine. Though I don't think that's gonna be a good idea either. But it's a hard jump, like going all the way from up here to down there and timing the drop properly. It's not easy. Right. And then a choke check at the end. I'm a little bit of an asshole. But yeah. Then you have this screen. I actually seen that there are quite a lot of makers that do screens similar to this one, which is essentially putting up a bunch of square platforms, and with that you just make the whole platforming, you know, be taking like different paths, right? Kind of the idea. And this is a hard jump. It wasn't that bad. Though, hold on. Okay, yeah, you're supposed to do that, but you're supposed to do it more to the right. I'm pretty sure there are quite some skips possible in this screen. Not the one up here though, I'm pretty sure this one is not possible. But like, you can probably skip here, maybe, like you're landing to this water or something. But yeah. I don't think this is the kind of game that anyone is gonna bother speed running, and I mean, it makes sense. I don't think there's gonna be too much use for those skips, because I would say that most of them are probably harder to do than just doing the intended way. There are some skips that are legitimately easier, but I don't tend to skip that much. Right? So yeah, this is another one of those like leap of fates, but worry not, because there's only water on the other side. And yes, this is the final screen of this area. We are entering a cave. Well, it's supposed to be a cave. I personally think it looks like a cave. But yeah, well, you wouldn't see yet, but it looks more like a cave when you actually get there. So Draenor, the first time that he got here, or I don't remember if it was Draenor or Echo, they thought it was like some other dimension. And I guess it makes sense mostly because the color use is a little bit awkward, but yeah. Well, I mean, not the color that you see now. The color that you see now is just the typical green. Yeah. It's also another part you can do in multiple ways. Like you could fall here, go straight down, or you could go up, and the same here. You could go down or up. It all depends on what the player wants to do. I don't even remember what I prefer to do here, so I guess I'm gonna be rediscovering it now. Yeah, the fractal dimension, correct. Essentially, the idea is that, you know, that with the sun, it looks that bright, but when it's completely dark, it looks different, you know. It's kind of the point, kinda. But yeah. I think I remember that Echo also did this screen very quickly. I don't think I did. This screen, I don't think when I tested it I did it quickly. I should check the spreadsheet. Because I have a spreadsheet when I tested the game for the last time with how much time I took on each screen. And I don't remember how much time this one took me. I don't remember if it was too much or too little. All I know is that whatever it took me, I didn't think it was bad, so I just left it as it is. Nice. Well, here the water is supposed to slowly like be running out because it's just pouring into the cave. Then we enter the cave with some very flashy effect in the background because it's supposed to be like the crystals shining, crystals that kill you, of course. They are the spikes after all. And the gimmick here is yet again another I wanna go the shampoo refractory gimmick. This one is the low jump. Essentially when you jump at the lowest you can. Well, actually I don't think that's right. I don't think you actually literally jump at the lowest possible. I think you jump almost at the lowest possible. I think it's technically possible to go lower. Wow, really? Yeah, I like the song. The song is pretty cool. Well, I mean, all of the songs are pretty cool. That's why I selected them, but yeah. This one is pretty funky. Indeed. And also, I seen that some... Well, I haven't seen it, but... I heard that some people got filtered by this zone. Like, if you don't get filtered by the water, it seems like this is what's gonna filter you. I think it makes sense. One of those mechanics that is quite limiting, but it's also used in a way that requires quite a lot of precision. Okay, I don't blame you if you stop playing on this zone. It makes sense. I mean, I wouldn't blame you if you do it on the water zone either. But you essentially gotta be quite precise. I stopped on this zone, but only because I heard how hard the rest of the game was. Yeah, the rest of the game... It does get hard. I wouldn't say that the subsequent zones get that hard, but there are some zones on the late game that do get quite hard. You know? There are some zones that are... Wait, is this jump possible? If you do... There is no way that's possible, right? I'm very tempted to try, but no, I don't think it is. I mean, maybe it is, but it seems like it might be harder than just doing it the intended way, you know? It could be, or it could not be. I don't know. Okay, it's fine. Now, this is one of those jumps that I didn't really realize how precise it was until I saw people playing it struggle with it. And as a consequence, I'm struggling with it now. It's fine. Box. You're supposed to jump from the bottom there. On the top, you don't go anywhere. But yeah, you do bottom, then jump into that. Yeah, like, the rest is not that hard. Just this first jump that... Well, the rest of this screen, I mean. Not the rest of this zone. And much less the rest of the game. But yeah, the rest of this screen is easy. Or relatively easy once you get this jump. But yeah, not free. Still not free. So here, since you're in a cave, I wanted to do these little things where you go deeper into the cave, because what you're supposed to be doing is going into the mountains at the bottom of the background, well, like on the background of the previous screen, right? So by going through this cave, you are getting closer to them because you're moving forward. You can also move backwards. I don't know why you would want to do that, but you can if you want. Do you know if you press up from where you enter, you can go back a screen? No. You press down, not up. You failed the test, Reynolds. Shame on you. You gotta press down. Hey, don't worry about it. It's fine. I mean, at some point, I was thinking, like, that's the thing, I'm a little bit of a moron. So originally, this supposedly had the entrance to go back, but then I thought to myself, wait, that doesn't make any sense. Because if you do that, geographically, the only thing you are doing is going back and forth. You are not going full to the background. So I had to remove it. I mean, I had to make the sprite invisible, essentially. Because it didn't make any sense for the sprite to be there. Or rather, it didn't make sense for the sprite to be there and be behind the player. It should, if anything, be on the front of the player. I made it invisible. But it's essentially... The sprite is the same as this thing, but with less light, essentially. Just to, you know, give the idea that that's not where you're supposed to go. Which, I mean, it's obvious because it's where you just came from, but to, you know, just to not confuse people. So this is another checkpoint that is quite precise. I'm well aware of it. But yeah, I personally didn't think it was a big deal, but it's not as bad as this one. This one I thought it was no big deal at all, and most people that got here struggle with this one. I mean, I guess the struggle is understanding what to do after this. You're supposed to do that, but that jump is not easy. So, even if you have the right idea, you might think it's not the right idea because of how hard that jump is to do. That is indeed the right idea. And you have a part here with some recovery, because I knew that this jump wasn't easy, so if you fail it, you just retry it here. I was feeling generous. Just a little bit. But yeah, it's fine. Eventually we will get it, don't worry. I mean, once you get that jump, I mean, you could choke the last one, but you have to be very nervous or something to choke this last one, because it's as simple as that. Alright. And then this checkpoint is very fucked up. This checkpoint, though, I think most people that did this checkpoint didn't struggle with it, but I feel like it's a very hard checkpoint. And I didn't nerf it because when I tested it, it didn't take me that long, but it is very precise. And would probably be better if it was nerfed, but it is what it is. I mean, the hardest part is the part at the bottom, essentially keeping the rhythm well enough to reach the left side. That's not easy to do. Or not easy to me. I think Drano did it on the first try. Well, okay, I guess I also did it on the first try, but in my case it's not the case because I'm the one that made the game, you know? But yeah. So, this checkpoint, by the way, was also nerfed. These two spikes that you see here were like one block higher. They were supposed to be in between these two mini spikes, and well, this thing was also, I think, higher. But it made the jump stupidly precise. It was doable, and if you get the timing down, you could obviously do it consistently, but it was way too precise. So I didn't like it. I mean, in retrospective, a jump like that is probably the least of this game's problems, so yeah. I personally thought it was too fucked up, so I nerfed it. So that last jump is also hard. It could be worse, but the last jump. Like there is an additional choking matter. It's fine. So ironically, this second checkpoint of this screen is gonna take me longer than the first one at this rate. Fuck. It's fine. I mean, you can tell that it took me even longer before the nerf, which is the reason why I nerfed it. That part at the end is fucked up. And it's the last champ as well, so that makes it a little bit more fucked up. But I guess that at the same time, it's a way to compensate for the rest of the screen being not that hard. So this is one of those screens that I was feeling cute, and I basically just wanted to make something cool looking. And I feel like this structure here looks pretty cool. But yeah, it was one of those that I was feeling artistic, so I made that. And I think I like it. But I think, no, I obviously like it. But yeah, the thing here is that the hard part about that is over-champing at any point of those refreshers, which makes you pick another one by accident, and you essentially cannot progress. That and this part here, you kinda have to move a little bit from left to right, though. There is a 16 pixel gap here that lets you go up straight without needing to zigzag. So what's this emote? Oh, so cute. I was feeling cute. There are a lot of the screens in this game that I wanted to make them look as good as possible, or at least as attractive as possible, you know? This one is one of them. I might even use it as a thumbnail for the YouTube video. Maybe. I think I'm going very, very slow. Like I'm overcompensating. There wasn't enough height at the bottom, so that kinda ruined the rest. It's fine. And then we have here an interesting screen that is kinda reminiscent to more traditional needle. You know? It is the kind of thing that you will see in a regular needle game. Like the kind of claustrophobic shit that needle games are usually known for. And well, considering that we are on a cave, I think that this makes sense. And more sense than any other place. Having a claustrophobic screen in a cave, I think, is very fitting. Since it's more traditional needle, I might struggle a little bit with it. But don't you worry about it. We're gonna get it. Well, in fact, oh, that's also something I almost forgot to mention. This screen used to have no checkpoints. So yeah. It essentially was kind of a very hard screen to do. So I had to add the checkpoint in the middle. I probably also buffed some stuff, because if I'm gonna add a checkpoint and leave it as it is, it might be a little bit too easy. But yeah, it's okay. nice. But yeah, essentially, it's one of those things where I had to, you know, kind of swallow my pride and be like, no, add a checkpoint there. Add a checkpoint, because otherwise you're gonna have trouble. I feel like this is still too early in the game to have a screen like that. It was supposed to be a cave you will be flying through with a jetpack. No, there are no cave references in this game. Or cave music at all, actually. None of the songs in this game are from cave, but now that I think about it, it wouldn't have been a bad idea to make a song, like the song of the cave, to be a song composed by Cave. Would have been fitting. The thing is that I wanted to use this song for a very long time, so one of those that it was reserved. Oh, you mean Cave Story? Well, that also would have been a good idea as well. But yeah, as I say, it was reserved. There you go. Also, how is it going, Yannick? Oh, you came just for a very evil screen. So you see this thing up here is supposed to be a plane jump. Plane jumps are usually some of the hardest jumps you can do in I Wanna Be the Guy, at least using like default physics. It's a very evil jump to have. That's the reason why I put it right at the beginning of the screen, and more importantly, with that gimmick attached to it. And another thing is also that if you manage to fall without dying to a spike, which is honestly not that easy to do, well, for example, if you fail that F-jump like that, instead of having to retry the plane, you can just simply go back by walking. But yeah, I mean, hitting a spike is probably just as common as falling, so not sure how useful that is, especially with the ending being the way it is. This is a fucked up ending. Like, this is not easy to do at all. And yet, here, I did it. Because it's very easy to die, and it's right at the end, so... And not to mention that there's no recovery. But yeah. Every screen is evil, yes. Every screen is evil. Hey, don't worry about it. That's just part of the course. You know that very interesting thing is that this will be the first playthrough of this game on YouTube. That's pretty sad, but it is how it is. Will be the first playthrough of my own fun game. I mean, I don't mind the fact I can say that I have the exclusivity, so that's cool, which is something that I probably wouldn't have in any other game, or fun game for that matter. So hey, nice to literally be the first playthrough. Pretty cool. The RPG Maker thing made me consider making one. Well, I think the problem with making RPGs is that, well, obviously they are default assets, and since we are talking about pixel art, there are a lot of things that you can edit without that much trouble. Like you can edit yourself. I think the problem with RPGs, especially turn-based RPGs, is that half of the appeal is in the way it looks and sounds. So essentially the problem there is that you have to excel at those things. Because gameplay-wise you can have a lot of stuff, but I mean at the end of the day it's a turn-based RPG, you know. So it's hard to shine in the gameplay department, so you kind of have to shine everywhere else. But yeah. So this is one of the first screens that makes use of like delay grabbing, in the sense that instead of jumping immediately as you pick up the power-up, you jump to get the power-up, and with the momentum of the power-up as you pick it up, you do the last jump. So yeah, I probably didn't explain myself very well, but it's fine. Yeah. That's a funny death. Well, it wasn't really a death, I guess. But yeah, as you can see how I'm doing, not there, or there, damn it. But yeah, essentially in these places you pick it up with the second jump, and with that distance you got, you then use the jump refresher. That's the idea. I was a little bit afraid that this wouldn't be obvious enough, but thankfully it was, at least for the people that played it, or that I know that played it. And then here we have one of my favorite looking screens in the game. Just really like the way it looks. But yeah, it's another one of those that I was simply feeling cute and made kind of like needle art. It looks nice. Well, in fact, it's one of the screens that I uploaded to Delicious Fruit simply because of how much I like the way it looks. I really do. But it's a nice one to me. Another thing that I don't know if you might have noticed or not is that the spikes here are supposed to be semi-transparent. Like they kinda let the background blend in. I mean, I guess it's hard to tell because the background is kinda always the same. And even with that shine, or that blinking in the background, it's not that easy to tell that it's supposedly doing that. But it's fine. So I'm struggling on that jump a lot more than I should be. Why is that jump so hard to do? There you go. Okay, this is a fucked up thing because this is a line specific jumping. The only way to walk off this mini spike is if you hit the wall on the right. So, since you're probably gonna do that anyways, I didn't think it was a problem, but yeah. If you somehow don't hit the wall in either of these places, these jumps are impossible. Or well, I don't know if they are actually impossible, but they are a lot harder than intended. But yeah, it's fine. I didn't pass the choke check. That thing at the end there is a choke check. So, even as a choke check, I will say that it's a relatively hard jump. Pretty sure you might not even need to double jump here. Or maybe you need to. Oh no, you don't need to. It is actually possible to do it on a single jump. But yeah, it is safer to do it in two. Also, I like how this thing down here looks like Dr. Disrespect logo. It's unintended, but when you look at it, it kinda looks like it. Alliance? Yeah, I know. I'm not a fan of Alliance. It's just that in that case, I think that most players will like accidentally get the Alliance anyways. Because I think it's hard to land on those two platforms and not hit the wall. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I might be wrong. Who knows? So the way this screen was made is I essentially made these spikes that you see here to make it symmetrical, right? And then I did the rest based on that. It's one of those screens that, well, multiple screens were like that you start drawing something and then you build on top of it. Here, I'm pretty sure I did those things first and then I did the rest. I like the way it looks, honestly. Come on, that champagne that hard, bro. What are you doing? I guess the biggest pain in the ass here was lining up these mini spikes here. Because I was working on a grid that had, like, I think 16 pixel grid. So doing that with a 16 pixel grid is impossible. So I essentially had to join all those spikes kinda like manually. So it took quite a bit. I mean, not as much as the final screen in this area. The final screen in this area, like stitching all those mini spikes together took a while. But for the final screen, I think there is one more screen and then the final screen, I think. Cox. I don't like that fact, not after what I... It's okay. I mean, as I say, it's not like I did it intentionally. Well, even if I made it intentionally, I wouldn't particularly care, because it will be just a joke. But yeah, it was just a shape that I realized later that kinda looked like that. Yeah. Last checkpoint is actually taking me quite a while. I mean, off this screen. It's not the last checkpoint of the game, of course. There's still quite a bit for that. Well, in fact, that's probably just gonna happen in 2 days or 3. We are far from that, so don't worry about it. Don't you worry. I think the problem there is that I'm not confidently going left. I feel like I'm gonna get hit by the top spikes, but I don't. I am quite getting fucked right now, though. Okay, yeah, you can actually get hit by the top spike, yeah. It is one of those checkpoints that I don't remember it taking me a long time, so I'm essentially getting skill checked by my own fan game. Can you believe that? So this checkpoint is the least of my worries. There will be some checkpoints later that will seriously skill check me. We will see about those. It seems like the champs that are screwing me a little bit. But it's mostly this one. Damn. God damn it. There are a lot of screens that I got stuck quite a bit. Probably not so much when I tested the game for the last time, but I struggled at some point before. Oof. Nice. And then we have this screen that is essentially made of nothing but this type of like diamonds. Essentially nothing but this type of spikes. Just thought it was an interesting challenge, I guess, to make a screen like this. Because, I mean, it's mostly because it's hard a lot of times to come up with ideas, you know. This is one of those times where it's simply not that easy to come up with an idea of how to do a screen. So essentially here that was the idea, that all the spikes should have that shape. And this is, I think, one of those screens that I might have gotten lucky when I tested it. Because it has some very mean shit at the end. And I didn't really struggle last time I tested it, but I can definitely struggle it. Well, in fact, I might struggle it here. Hopefully not. We will see. It is one of those screens I probably should have added a checkpoint to. And well, maybe made it harder because of it. By making some jumps harder. Ah, close. That's a shame. But I got farther than I thought. That's something. Yeah, good luck replicating it. It is the second to last screen on this zone. And then the final one can be very fucked up. As I was doing it, I nerfed it multiple times, but it is still a very messed up screen. So it might take me some time. Really? Oh yeah. I'm predicting that on the next zone is gonna get even worse. The fact of getting stuck. It won't be easy at all. Like, the next zone has some very messed up screen. And one screen that is intentionally messed up. I don't know if I can get there on this stream. I hope I can. I should be able to. In fact, if I don't get there on this stream, it means that I seriously got stuck. So that will be a problem. really... What kind of death is that? Are you stupid? Okay, that final jump, I kinda hurry a little bit for no reason. You're supposed to jump here. Like, otherwise it's not possible. If you jump here, there is no way you have the angle to get past this. You're supposed to... In fact, it might be a full jump, the first one. I think. I don't remember now what was supposed to be the case, but... Pretty sure it's a full jump. Well, the first one, not the second one. I mean, I guess theoretically, no, the second one being a full jump would be a very bad idea. That last jump is fucked up, but that whole last sequence is fucked up. Which is the reason why I feel like this screen should either have that last part nerf or have another checkpoint somewhere. But have another checkpoint somewhere and also making the screen slightly harder. Or maybe that's not even necessary though. I guess it depends for what difficulty you are aiming for. Hit a double jump immediately. Hopefully I don't get stuck like I... There you go. That wasn't that bad. Honestly, I shouldn't nerf shit. Here we are at the final screen of the zone. As you can see, those little things, like those mini spikes, that are essentially the ones that limit your movement. You know how long that took to do? Like, that took quite a while to do. But yeah, what took even longer is trying to make this to not be bullshittingly hard. That's the real hard part. It was very hard at the beginning. Had to nerf it so many times until I was satisfied. Had to add so many refreshers, make some gaps a lot bigger. Well, every stage, the idea is that every stage, with some exceptions, I guess, is that it ends using... Hold on. Is that it basically ends up doing a non-stop stage, well, a non-stop screen, I mean, with the gimmick that is happening. Like, there is one gimmick where that's not possible later, but for every other gimmick it's essentially that. You could say that the exception is on the first zone, because the first zone had non-stop refreshers on the second to last place, second to last room, and the last one had non-stop jumps, but it was underwater. Not to mention it also had an additional checkpoint. So yeah, that's the exception, but on the rest it essentially is like that, just a non-stop group of champs using the gimmick of the zone. Is the idea. Also, I'm pretty sure you can easily skip this. Like, you don't need to go all the way up here. You can just cut this somewhere. But yeah, as I say, no skips. No skips allowed here on this playthrough. Ooh, that was actually close. So now we are heading into the light again. And we finally reach the mountains. Well, the mountains that I call highlands in the game, but highlands and mountains is the same shit, essentially. It's just a fancy way of saying mountain. I guess not all highlands are mountains, but tends to be the case. They also have a pretty cool windy effect. And well, the gimmick here is yet again from Champo Refrentor. This one is supposed to be the high champ, and as you can see here, pretty using the high champ to make you not go high. Pretty much. If you go high, you die. You gotta be careful. This is the last Champo Refrentor gimmick that I use for the rest of the game, so everything that comes afterwards is not from that game. Well, kinda. You will see later. For now, just know that these are all the Champo Refrentor gimmicks I use. Also, you're supposed to avoid these things because they spawn immediately, so you cannot just simply grab them and then champ again. You're supposed to avoid them. So I'm pretty sure that even if you grab one, you can still do the champ, but it is quite precise if you do that. So, should be a little bit careful. And of course we see the mountains in the background. Because we are supposed to be in a whole mountain area. I mean, I don't know how you call it in English, but it's essentially a mountain chain. A lot of mountains together. Okay. Now, the interesting thing about this wind effect that you're seeing here is that it's not wind for the for Game Maker, that is. It's supposed to be clouds, but they are like very fast and very thin clouds, so it makes it look like wind, which is what I was going for, of course. But the effect are actually clouds. For Game Maker. For me though, it's wind, and for you and for anyone it's wind, you know. Clouds don't go that fast. Oh, well, maybe they do, but they are not that small usually. Yeah, you can say it's a mountain range essentially. Now, this is something that I decided to add, mostly because so far in the whole game, there's only one way to go, and the whole game is about going from one screen to the other. But here, you actually technically have multiple ways to go. You could go down, but I put that there to make sure that you know that you're not supposed to go down. Because if you go down, you die. That would be bad. Wouldn't want to die. But yeah, it's essentially the place you are supposed to go is up, not down. That's the idea. It was just a little thing I wanted to add, just to make sure you understand you're not supposed to go down. But if you go down, you simply die. That's it. I'm gonna show it, but I wanna get to the checkpoint above so I don't have to redo this part to show you. But yeah. You need to do a higher jump than that. Funny level. It's a pretty funny level, yeah. I will say that Zone 4 is probably one of the hardest ones in the game. Nice. But I also put some stair-looking things here, so you know to go up slowly to get to the next part. So as you can see, if I just fall here, you die. That's it. There is no secret or anything. You just die. But yeah, that's why the sign is there. Now, this might be one of the screens that I didn't nerf. That might be one of the most precise in the game. Or, I mean, not precise in itself, like, there are more precise screens than this one, but the fact that you're supposed to do so many precise jumps in a row, you know. And I definitely should have nerfed these 2 mini spikes here. They shouldn't even be there, but yeah. Since it didn't cost me that much to beat this, I thought it was fine. But I didn't really mind. But it was probably a better idea to nerf that. Nice. But as you can see, I can do that fast. It actually took a lot longer when I was testing it. Like, this screen I think took me 9 minutes to beat when I was testing it. But it didn't take me that long now. But yeah, funny level indeed. I mean, I will say that, especially with how I've seen people play this game, like, this probably is the hardest zone in the game, except for one later that I'm not gonna spoil yet, but it might be the hardest one. I mean, there is also another zone later that to some people it can also be harder. I don't think it's harder, but Draenor and Echo prove otherwise. They struggle on that zone more than on this one, so that one might be harder too, but I don't think it's harder for me. Well, we will see, that's the thing, we don't know until we get there. But yeah, it's alright. I also was kind of afraid of using this song that I'm using now. This is a very intense song to do Needle, but I felt that I really wanted to use it. Like, I wanted to use a Killer Instinct song, and this is one of them, but yeah, for Needle this might be a little bit intense, not to mention that it has vocals. Even if the vocals are in a language you don't understand, they are still there. The bird canal zone was a bit excessive, but maybe that's just me. Yeah. The bird canal zone, huh? I don't think I will do something like that, personally. That will be too much even for me. Yeah. Probably not. Also, you also die, by the way, if you try to go left. If you just hold left, you die. Essentially, the way... Because I think a lot of people, what they do to make sure the outside kills is that they configure their room so the outside kills. Now, that's a very stupid thing to say, I guess, because it's like, yeah, no shit, moron. But what I'm trying to say with that is, if the character is outside, it immediately kills. What I instead do... what I instead do is I make it so there is a block, a killing block on the outside that is very long. So you have some margin to still not die, but if you just go all the way, you die. That's how every screen is done. Like, no screen has the outside kills logic. It just has blocks on the outside that kill you instead. It's just me. What is just me? Ah, almost, damn it. That last jump is not even hard, by the way. That last jump is quite easy. Okay, I failed it twice now. Hey, don't worry about it. We got this. Surely. I can't believe I died to that. That was so sad. Yeah, it's the first time I died to that specific spike. What the hell? Inventing new ways to die. I don't think in any of my testing I died to that spike. That's pretty funny though. The above? What above? God? I mean, there is no God. You know, I mean, it's very understandable when you see the existence of this game. But yeah, by the way, this type of screen transitions here are made essentially because the background, in reality there is two backgrounds. The one with the mountains, of course, and then the brown things, it's supposed to be like a rock texture, and it's a very big texture. So yeah, essentially I needed to, you know, play around that texture, and I couldn't make it too high or too horizontal, right? By the way, there is a skip in this zone. So these things replenish. As you can see, every time you change the screen, and since the screen below is the one that belongs to the previous, to one of the previous screens, because I like the fact that they are all connected. But yeah, every time you leave the screen, the jump refresher responds. So you can very easily skip like this, like something like that. As I say, I'm not gonna do it because it ain't a good look. But if you wanna skip it, you can do it like that. It doesn't skip much though, it just makes you do like 2 or 3 less jumps. It's not a big deal, but I guess it's better. Does the Studio 2 shrink textures that are too big? I don't know how it internally handles it, but it's the way it looks here. I mean, that thing is supposed to be a background. It's essentially just a big image. It's not really considered a texture, I guess, by Game Maker. But it's supposed to just be a gigantic PNG. A very big PNG. Probably not the most optimal way of doing this, but it's fine. Kinda works. I mean, the surprising thing is that the only person that had trouble, like performance troubles with this game, didn't have any problem with this area. Which is kinda loaded, I guess. But yeah, didn't really have any issues with this one. remember how I did this screen. It's quite hard to... Oh, like that, maybe? Yeah, like that. Ah, then close. I know that GabyOG struggled a shit ton on this screen, even using the skip. To GabyOG, the hardest parts were the sides on the left and on the right, essentially. Like these balls. Those were the hard parts for him. It's fine. This stage blue. Well, it's blowing wind, so that's true. GabyOG wasn't a big fan of Zone 4. I mean, aside from the Killer Instinct music, which is very good. But yeah, don't worry about it. Could be worse. It's not easy at all. As I say, it's probably the hardest, one of the hardest zones in the game, without a doubt. But yeah, nothing to be ashamed of. But maybe I should be ashamed of it, but definitely not the player. Oh, really? Too late? That was close, though. Close enough. At least you have a recovery if you fail to get that final refresher on the left. So it's not as bad as it could be. Damn it. It's fine. The worst of this zone is yet to come. In fact, it's pretty simple. The worst of this zone comes in two screens. It's not the next screen, it's the one that comes afterwards. So yeah. You can hold on until there. You can see what true fucked up shit looks like. But you will see how easy I can even get there, you know. It's also a screen that I like the way it looks because it has like a very direct view of the mountains. So I like that. It's a very distinct feel. So I uploaded it to Delicious Fruit. I mean, I also like the way the two sides of the mountain appear in each side of the screen, you know. I'm a fan, personally. Yeah. For GabyOG, at screen like this is mostly associated with salt. Well, and maybe for me too, really. On the testing I didn't take this long to beat it. Just that I'm failing the final part quite a lot. Really? The final part I am fucking it up quite a bit. I mean, not like I get there very often, but you have already gotten it. I'm pretty sure that in testing I did get it that fast, actually. Like I probably did that final, like that right side I did it like on the second or first try. Yeah, don't worry. Are you gonna get it? I'm fucking up the angle of that second champ. Well, second to last champ, I mean. With the high refresher. Oh yeah, with the high refresher. Not like there's any other type of refresher. Did it too late. Nice. Alright. And then we have a very special screen. It's not the one I was talking about that is fucked up, but it's a unique screen in the sense that it's the only screen where you're supposed to dodge the champ refreshers. Like, as you can see, these are refreshers that spawn immediately, so you cannot simply grab them and champ again. You're supposed to dodge them. And this is also one of the screens that got nerfed before, like, after the game was done. These 4 mini spikes that you see here, they simply used to be 2 regular spikes like the ones on the sides, you know? So that made that champ pretty hard. I mean, harder than it is now. So yeah. Not something that is pretty nice at all, but it's fine. Could have been worse. As I said, if you hold on, the real fucked up screen comes right after this one. You will see it. I mean, maybe if you are not familiar with I Wanna Be the Guy, like, for example, Yannick probably wouldn't see how fucked up the following screen is. Because, I mean, Yannick probably thinks all of these screens are fucked up. Which is not very far from the truth, really, but the point is that the next one is particularly fucked up. Like, it's above all of these ones that you've seen. And as I also mentioned, it's a screen that I was fully aware what I was doing. Not like many other screens that are unintentionally quite hard. No, that one is fucked up because I felt like making it fucked up. Yeah, they are all particularly fucked up to me, I know. I am well aware. Yeah, don't worry about it. Don't you worry. It happens. I'm actually hitting that refresher a lot now, for some reason. It's fine. I mean, you can get away with hitting some refreshers here and still not die. Well, in fact, I did it in one of the previous attempts. Like, I hit one of the refreshers on the left and I still survived. But it's not that easy. I mean, it's essentially a gate champ but with refreshers instead of spikes. Kinda like that. Okay, I'm not even dying on what I consider to be the hard champ, which is... See, for example, right there I got the refresher and I didn't die. It's certainly possible. Yeah, this champ is fucked up. And this one is also quite fucked up. Did I really die there? I swear I didn't see myself dying on that one. I want the referee. Like I got scammed. Okay, got that. Yeah, I got that champ on the first try pretty much because I nerfed it. If I haven't nerfed that champ the way I thought I did, I would still be stuck here. Anyways, now for the fucked up shit. Look at this screen. Look at this screen and appreciate how lovely it looks. So essentially, for Yannick and for people that might not know about I Wanna Be The Guy, these are champs that are called gate champs. Gate, not gay, not homosexual, no. Gate as in a door, right? It's supposed to be a very precise champ. I'm not sure exactly how many pixels wide it is, but it's very precise. And essentially here, not only you're supposed to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 of them in a row, but you're also supposed to do it in physics that a regular fun game player is not used to, which is a high jump physics. So yeah, essentially this shit is pretty fucked up. But yeah. Worst part is there's worse. There is worse, but don't trust Reynolds. The screens he thinks are worse are 100% skill issue. Nah, I'm just kidding, but like, I will say that this one is the worst intentional screen. There are some other ones later that are also kind of intentionally fucked up. I think that the people that are good at needle games don't have trouble with them. But yeah, I have trouble with them though. Almost. It's always the most repetitive stuff that is the worst in this game. Yeah, that's something that I've been told a lot. Like, screens that make you repeat a jump over and over again tend to be the ones that people dislike the most, and understandably so. It's Flappy Bird, you can say it's Flappy Bird, yeah. Flappy Kid, kinda. But it is what it is. I wonder if when Flappy Bird first release, if there are a lot of fun games about, like I Wanna Be The Guy fun games about Flappy Bird. Because I mean, back when Flappy Bird released, it was everywhere. I mean, even Warframe had a minigame where you became Flappy Bird. So I wonder if, I mean, there's probably fun games about that, but I wonder if they came out as soon as Flappy Bird came out. Though I don't even remember what year Flappy Bird came out, but it was definitely in the 2010s, which means that yeah, fun games at that point were very well established, you know. But yeah, in any case, this screen is pretty much RNG. Very hard to do consistently, and yeah, you're probably gonna get fucked. Some fun games I know that use Flappy Bird are I Wanna Be The M2 and I Wanna Find the Magic Watermelon, and also the Maker Medley, but I already played that. I played that and I don't remember Flappy Bird being there, but if you say so, I believe you. Then again, the Maker Medley is, well, it's a medley, that's the point, which makes it so it's pretty hard to remember everything that is in that game, because it's a game with a lot of variety. So yeah, it is what it is. But hey, I'm glad that it's there at least. In fact, you know, about this screen, I remember Echo almost gave up on this screen. Echo said he spiritually gave up on this screen. When he actually beat it relatively fast, well, compared to what he thought it was gonna take, he, you know, kept going. But there was another screen later that he almost also gave up. He didn't, but He only didn't because Draenor beat the screen, so he was like, it's actually doable. And yes, it is, but that's something that is not probably gonna be happening today even. Like, I don't think I'm gonna get there today. It will be very surprising if I manage to. But no, if I had to guess, the most I can do is beat the net zone today and that's it. And that already will be quite a lot. That was one of the screens I was referring to. Yeah, I know you were, but I still disagree. I still feel that you and Echo Mask have a very big case of a skill issue with that screen. Like, I understand that from a technical standpoint, it's very precise, but I feel like you're playing it wrong. You should be playing it as you were playing Crash Bandicoot, where the whole point is jumping at the very edge of a platform while you're running. If you do it like that, that screen is not that hard. I swear. I mean, I can't wait to get there and show you. You know? Or, well, it will be funny if I get there and I end up fumbling it, because it's also possible. But yeah. I mean, with all the pressure that I now have for that screen, I feel like I will fumble it. But hey, impossible to tell until we get there. But yeah, hopefully it's fine. Surely. But yeah. Also, you might be asking, if you knew that this screen was gonna be as fucked up as it is, why did you make it? Like, are you stupid, right? Like, that will be, well, a very understandable question. But I just felt like this screen had to exist, you know? It's one of those things that felt that it had to be a thing. Ah, damn it, I died there for the second time. That's a shame. Play like Crash Bandicoot by not playing it. Well, yeah, that's your loss. Not playing Crash Bandicoot. Unbelievable. Yeah, Crash Bandicoot is a good game. Well, they are all good games. I feel like even the games that people always criticize, like Mind Over Mutants and, you know, shit like that, I don't think they are bad games at all. They are just very different from what people are used to in the original PlayStation trilogy, but I feel like they are fine games on their own. Very bizarre as well. I mean, Crash was always bizarre. Was kinda like the identity of the series, you know? It's a very bizarre franchise. I mean, it was kind of at the time where mascot animals were... Well, mascot animals. Yeah, I guess you can call it that way. But yeah, essentially that video game animals were at an all-time high, with shit like Sonic, Cranky, Donkey Kong, who else? Well, Fox from Star Fox. Yeah, there were a lot of animal characters in video games back then. It was just the way it was. There you go. See, it wasn't that hard. You're all exaggerating. I'm just kidding, it is hard. But in fact, it took me what I mostly expected it to take. Like, it's just that it's one of those screens that if you get lucky, you can also beat it extremely fast. I mean, theoretically, you could beat it on the first try. Well, yeah, you can say that about literally every screen, but it's a screen where there is so little skill involved that you can just get lucky. I mean, it can take skill to do, but I think that you will have to practice it a lot to the point that you can say that it takes skill and you can consistently do it. Also, this screen was also nerfed. This checkpoint didn't used to be here, but it was like, this jump that you see here is way too hard, so putting anything after that felt a little bit unnecessary, so I put a checkpoint. I also made this part of the screen harder to compensate. Because like this part here used to be relatively easy. Like this platform here used to be like a full platform, like with like 2 blocks high, wider, and like this spike wasn't here and shit like that. But yeah, when I added the checkpoint, I added that stuff because otherwise the second checkpoint will be way too easy, and I didn't like that, so yeah. Had to do something about it, and I did. The main problem is that having this screen, even with the previous version without checkpoints, it will be a little bit too rough. It will even overshadow the screen that comes afterwards, which is the last one. Though personally, I didn't find the last screen of this zone too hard, but like, I'm pretty well. Draynot struggled a lot, and Echo, I think, I don't remember if Echo struggled or not. Maybe he did. But yeah, Draynot struggled in the next screen a lot. Nice. All right, so this first jump is very hard. Oh, by the way, if you fall here, you see like the rest of the area. It's kind of like the point, have it all connected. This first jump can be pretty hard. Well, in fact, the fact that I got it on that previous attempt was kind of a miracle. This first jump is hard, and it's meant to be hard, simply because it's the first jump of the checkpoint, and the jumps that come afterwards are not that hard. I just made the first one hard. Down I go. I don't know if it's the first or not the time that you quote that. You can go down if you want to. I mean, there is no reason to. As I say, I just wanted to make the whole thing feel like a interconnected world. Pretty sure you could probably skip that, like going straight to the jump, but I won't. Oh, you can also save yourself, assuming you don't do it high enough. And then we have the final screen, which, as I say before, is continuous non-stop jumps of the gimmick that is currently being used, in this case high jumps, of course. Draynot struggled a lot here, and it's in fact possible to make this screen easier by, in this part, when you pick up this refresher, you fall to the bottom screen and you jump, and that way, if you jump and recollect this one, you have a lot of margin to do the next 2 jumps. Again, I'm not gonna do it, obviously. I wanna show it the intended way, but if you're having trouble with this screen, you should do what Draynot did, which is that. And it should be easier. It's still not gonna be an easy screen, mind you, but it's just gonna be way easier. Like, just a lot easier. Just like all of the final screens, it is gonna be tough, no matter what. Especially the final screen for a gimmick like this one. Another thing about this screen is that originally this screen was just made of like diamond looking spikes. So like basically these spikes that you see here, well this was the whole screen. So I wanted to do like more interesting shapes, like, you know, this check mark or this thing that is mini spikes, kind of like doing an accordion effect with this, and you know, this part looking kind of like a random shape, things like this or this, because otherwise it look a lot duller than this. Not saying that this one looks amazing, but having the whole screen just be diamond shaped spikes will be too shitty. So I decided to make a little bit of spike art again. So yeah, there is that. There's also something that you can already see here. We are reaching the top of the mountain. We're seeing snow. We're about to reach the mountain peak. Well, not really that soon, but it's starting to appear, you know. There you go. See? Not a problem. So now we go into the first zone using an original gimmick. This is a gimmick that I myself made, and as you can see, it's frozen jump. When you jump and you select a direction, it never stops until you land. What you can choose is the strength of the jump, but once you do it, you gotta commit to it. And this is something that, well, Ecomas gave me the idea of doing this gimmick, but I implemented it myself. So yeah, I'm quite proud of it, and a lot of people told me that it was like this zone is one of the screens, well, one of the zones they like the most because of it. So I'm very glad that I was able to do a gimmick myself that people like. Pretty nice. Yeah. Then we have some interesting checkpoint here. Now this checkpoint, I thought of nerfing it, but this is one of those checkpoints that I unfortunately did, like, wanted to make the screen look cooler, so I sacrificed this part. This part will be easier if this refresher was somewhere else and not right in the middle. But I did it like that because I like the way those three refreshers look. So unfortunately, yeah, that part might be hard. But then again, I didn't see neither Echo or Dre not struggle there, so maybe that's just a skill issue on my side. Yeah, okay, never mind. That was pretty easy. Well, it's not easy though. It's just that I guess I'm used to it. Not to mention that it's also not very obvious what you're supposed to do. But yeah. I like how not only the player's color is changed, but their sprite also gets stuck. Yeah, I wanted to make sure that it was obvious that you are frozen. So yeah, I made it have that jump thingy. At the beginning I couldn't decide if I wanted to use that sprite or if I wanted to use the one where like the kid is falling, like the one where he has his legs open. But I decided to go for the one I went because that's the sprite that happens when you jump. So I think it was the one that made the most sense. And yeah, I do think it makes the most sense. Indeed. I will say that this song is also quite intense for Needle. But I think I still like it. But obviously I like it. No, let me correct myself. I love this song. Just like I love pretty much all of the songs from Blaze Blue. This is a Blaze Blue song in case you didn't know. And yeah, Blaze Blue soundtrack to me is one of the best soundtracks in video game history, pretty much. Yeah, this song is typical drum and bass. So if I combine that, like those two things, is just a very good recipe. It was also a song fitting for a nice zone. I'm seeing a lot of blue, but not a lot of blaze. Oh, don't worry about it. You will be seeing a blaze, just not yet, and not today either. Don't worry, you will be seeing a blaze. Oh, I died to that. Oh, I think because this is supposed to... I fucked up. This last champ is supposed to be a full champ, and I did a small one. You're supposed to full champ here, because you're not gonna get hit by anything. If you manage to get past the first spike, theoretically no other spike should kill you. But yeah, my bad. It was like my instinct to champ short. But it was supposed to be a long champ. Yeah, don't worry about it. We're gonna get it the next time. But yeah, the blaze will come, worry not. After all, it's in the name of the game. But yeah, it will be there at some point. And as I say, according to my calculations, it most likely is gonna be like Thursday. Like in 2 streams from now, from this one. But yeah, I'm not sure. I mean, as I was saying earlier, there is a lot of fucked up stuff later in the game, so yeah. A lot of that could take some time. Hopefully not, but it most likely will. Come on, dude. I mean, the mistake was not doing the last champ a full champ. That's also a mistake that I'm pretty sure that most people are gonna do, because it's in your instinct to do a small champ when you get here. It's logical. No, it's supposed to be a full champ. See, don't worry, you see a lot of spikes on the right side, but you're not gonna get hit by any of them, assuming you do a full champ. But assuming you do a full champ and you get past the first spike that is dividing the 2 sections, you know. Well, I missed the refresher. My bad. It happens. So this is one of those things that this is no effect. Game Maker Studio. Nice. Game Maker Studio already comes with a snowfall effect by default. The problem is that the snowfall effect resets every time you enter a room, which is absolutely shitty, and there's nothing you can do about it unless it's an extremely long room and you load it. So essentially I had to make a particle effect. myself that tried to resemble the one that is built in Game Maker Studio, but making it so it actually, like, I can manipulate it however I want. So yeah, that's cool. In another note, this is one of those screens that it's also quite resembling of classic Needle. So there's that. Well, in fact, it's a screen that barely even has freeze champ refreshers, you know. I mean, it has a couple when you have to go up, but not really in the horizontal sections at all, so yeah. Because it's supposed to be a more traditional Needle screen, you might see me struggle in it a little bit. Because a lot of these champs, for I Wanna Be the Guy players, they are like second nature. Well, they are not to me at all. I might struggle a little bit. But yeah, don't worry about it. I mean, it's not a long screen, so don't worry too much about it. Well, another funny thing to note, by the way, these spikes that you are seeing here, these are the exact same spikes as the cave zone, which is the third one. They are the exact same, but instead they are like light blue. So yeah, it's the exact same type of spike with some semi-transparency. But instead instead of pink, they are blue. Okay, I cannot do that jump, huh? How do you do that jump? I wonder. Okay, that's how you do it. Okay. Ah, really? That's a shame. It's fine. These are the type of screens that I will struggle on the most. Anything that resembles classic Needle will make me struggle. Don't doubt it. This is the reason why a lot of times when I was seeing Echo and Draynor play, the fact that they were breezing through some screens like it was nothing seriously surprised me. Nice. Because I know I didn't. It's what happens when you are a tourist. It is a fun game made by I Wanna Be the Guy tourist. That's why a lot of the decision making regarding difficulty might not make much sense. But yeah, it is what it is. Also, this is another zone that utilizes the same logic as the previous zone when it comes to the background. The background is a gigantic ice texture, or well, I think it's supposed to be snow actually. I can't remember what it was, but yeah, I mean it's supposed to be obviously the snowy part of the mountain, but I don't remember what the texture originally was from. In any case, the point is that it's a gigantic PNG, pretty much. That's the reason why some levels here have some weird like up-down like transition. Well, in fact, the one that you're about to see is like that. Because it's just supposed to be a gigantic PNG that spans across the whole zone. So you need to utilize all that space properly, you know. Want to utilize it. And then some choke checks at the end of that checkpoint. Nothing out of the ordinary, but yeah. Gotta be a little bit careful. right? This is a type of jump that you will see me repeat a lot with this gimmick, which is essentially trying to aim in between two spikes while you are using the freeze refresh, of course. It's one of those that is used a lot, because I think that it's an interesting way of using the freeze refresh, personally. Right. Got him. But yeah, a transition like this one, for example, that looks like very weird is because of that. In order to use the most out of the gigantic PNG background that this zone has, and the same applied to the previous zone, of course. Now, this is a very interesting screen. This is a screen that everyone that play this game struggled with. And they didn't really complain about it, I guess mostly because it wasn't that dull to play, I guess, but it's a screen that probably is a lot harder than it should be. But yeah, it is what it is. I mean, because here's the thing. There are 3 people that beat the game. 2 of them are needle goals, one of them being Echo Mask and the other one is Sopanker. Both of those people beat the game, and both of them struggle here. I mean, they struggle in other places too, but the one that surprised me the most to see struggle in this screen was Sopanker. Sopanker struggled here, and he's like an extremely good needle player. Like, he's an actual precision needle player, and he struggled like hell on this place, on this screen. I mean, this particular screen. So this screen probably needs a checkpoint or some jumps being easier. It has neither, of course, but it is a relatively hard screen. Like, a lot of precise jumps, and the fact that you're supposed to do the whole thing without dying might be a little bit cruel. Yeah, I know, precision needle players don't play gimmicks usually, but Sopanker basically every other screen he aced it, even with this gimmick. He didn't particularly struggle with the gimmick, but rather with this screen. Too high. So yeah, I will say that this screen would probably need to be nerfed. Though something that I say multiple times before, and I'm gonna say again, I'm not gonna update the game, and if I do update it, it will be to add a whole new difficulty that is easier, of course. But I'm not gonna replace this difficulty. Like, this difficulty will be there forever. Whether I add other difficulties or not, I don't know. Maybe, maybe not. Most likely not. But yeah, I don't wanna change anything. If anything, I want to add stuff. And as I say, add difficulties. You know, that's kind of the idea. But yeah, like, I feel like I don't really have any reason to do so. Though, if it was easier, it could, like, if it had an easier difficulty option, and if it was more accessible to more players, it will probably be played by more people. I don't know. Oh, really? I mistimed the jump. Like, I did it too late, I think. Or maybe too early. It's hard to tell in those cases. I think it was too early. But yeah, the point is that I could do it. I don't know. There you go. I mean, in my case, I don't struggle with that screen as much as or rather, I struggle with that screen the same I struggle with every other screen. Which is the reason why I didn't think of nerfing it, but after seeing pretty much everyone struggle with it, if I had to add a new difficulty, that screen is 100% getting nerfed. There is no doubt about it. But like, essentially every screen will probably be nerfed if I add a new difficulty. Because I mean, even if it sounds fucked up, especially after seeing people play the game, I still think that this game is more or less balanced. Like, I know, saying something like that, especially in the presence of Draenor and, well, Echo, if he later watches the VOD, they are both gonna want to slap me one in each cheek. We are talking about the face cheeks, of course. But yeah, the point is that even if saying something like that might not be the best thing to say, I do think that it is relatively balanced. So that's the reason why I feel that another difficulty will essentially need every screen nerf. Because as I say, to me every screen is more or less the intended same difficulty. Well, obviously with the later ones being harder than the earlier ones, but if I were to make a new difficulty, everything will be changed. Say, well, except for some screens at the beginning, I guess. Yeah. Nice save, thanks. Pretty nice one, of course. Well, in case you couldn't tell by the... In case you couldn't tell by the way this screen looks, the theme of this screen was essentially vertical platforms. Every platform that you land on had to be vertical. That's essentially what I was going for here, like my guide to do this screen. So yeah, I like it. Wow, that was pretty fast. Oh yeah, I guess you can probably tell that after struggling quite a bit with that one screen that I say that other people struggle, and then doing the other ones that fast, yeah, maybe that one is simply fucked up. Also, this is skippable. I don't remember how exactly actually. Oh yeah, here. It's possible to jump like this, double jump here and get this refresher. So you skip these two jumps. That is not only doable, but if you're a good needle player, not that hard to do even. But I'm not gonna do it, so yeah. I'm gonna do it the hard way. This is also another screen that I really like the way it looks. I would have put it in Delicious Fruit, but I felt that I already put enough screens, and I feel like it will be better if the rest of the game, the people that played explore it by themselves, but with the amount of people that played it, I don't think that many are gonna see what the rest of this game looks like. But unless they are watching this playthrough right now, which could be. I mean, honestly, it's the smartest thing to do. Instead of doing that, instead of playing this shit, better to just watch it. I mean, it's the same thing that I do with, well, I used to do with Osu. Not really interested in Osu anymore, but back when I was interested in Osu, it was better to watch it than to play it. Because that game destroys your fingers, and your hands, and your soul. It destroys everything. should have put the big shredder diamond screen on Delfruit. Damn. You are still hurt because of that screen? Well, we are not gonna get to that screen today, so... we won't be able to see it, but yeah. Draynor got to a screen today and he was pretty hurt about it. Understandably so. But yeah. It is what it is. Also, I'm pretty sure this is also... Yeah. That champ, you don't even need to do a double champ. You can get to that platform on a single champ. But yeah. No, I think that I'm gonna use this screen right here as the actual thumbnail. I don't know though. I mean, there are so many screens that I like the way they look that it would be hard to pick one, but I guess since this one is not on Delicious Fruit, I could use it as a thumbnail. Because I really like the way it looks. Wait, what am I doing then? My brain turned off for a second there. Don't you normally put the title screen of the game as the thumbnail? Not always. It depends on the game. I usually do that, but not always. There are some games that if I like the way a screen looks a lot, I will use that instead of the title screen. But as you also said, I also use the title screen as the thumbnail for the trailer. Well, the trailer. Calling it a trailer is a little bit generous, but yeah. It's already taken. So don't worry about it. Yeah, this checkpoint is kicking my ass. If I'm not mistaken, originally the idea of this screen was it to be a single checkpoint. Though it's been so long that I don't remember. But yeah, don't worry about it. The hardest part is reaching that one refresher that is there. That's the hard thing to do in this checkpoint. The rest is not that bad, especially this first part where you can simply skip 2 of the refreshers. That part on the right is a little bit messed up. I got close to the checkpoint once. But yeah, we will see. That's gonna be a hard one to do. It's gonna be slightly challenging. I mean, it's just a hard movement to do. It also, because it's not just the movement that is essentially like a zigzag, but it's also that the jump that you need to get the refresher is a very short jump, and it's a drop jump as well. It's essentially a combination of a lot of things that are normally quite fucked up. But yeah, it's just a hard jump no matter what. It happens. Yeah. It's if a new difficulty happens, you already know what's gonna get nerfed. So I'm surprised because I got there relatively quickly, but it ain't happening right now. To mention that, I don't think that... Well, Draynor probably did struggle with this checkpoint actually, if I recall correctly. he did struggle with this. It's fine. He's gonna struggle a little bit. Just a little bit. Yeah, that drop jump is probably the worst part about it. If you have more room to do that drop jump, I don't think the zigzagging is that bad. But since it comes from a drop jump like that, it is hard. I mean, the good thing is that the checkpoint is relatively close, so it's not like you have to go that far to get it, but yeah, it's still messed up. But another thing worth noting is that this is essentially the 8th screen of this zone, so it's also relatively close to being over. So yeah, I will say the difficulty is relatively justified. Probably slightly harder than expected. I mean, it's not like the second checkpoint here is much better anyways. What I do remember is the screen that comes after this that wasn't that big of a deal. And the final screen, it depends. The final screen, some players struggle quite a lot, but that's mostly because of the unfamiliarity with the gimmick. I don't think the last screen is that hard though. But yeah, I guess we will see when we get there. If we want to get there, we want to get past this. This checkpoint might be kicking my ass. It's fine. Well, there's also quite some symmetry in the screen, which is also a reason why I like it. So the symmetry is mostly in the parts that don't really involve the player that much. It's fine. I think a good objective will be for today to beat this zone. Yeah, beat this zone. Actually, I think that's a good objective. Like that already, I think it's a good objective as it is. To beat this zone, the screen has to be beaten. God damn it. It seems that so far this is the checkpoint that might be taking me the longest to beat. I think that even the... Damn, finally. Well, now I beat it now, so I guess it wasn't longer than the gate checkpoint, but the gate checkpoint took... Yeah, that probably is so far the longest checkpoint in the playthrough, right? I don't think any other one took as long as the gate checkpoint, which is understandable. More than understandable. Ah, fuck. Yeah. Something that pretty easy to tell. An intentionally fucked up screen will be the one that takes the longest. Outside of that one, wouldn't be surprised if that checkpoint was the one that took the longest, the second longest. for now. The special emphasis is in for now. Nice. Didn't fail the choke check. So this screen that you're seeing right here is essentially it's supposed to use the fact that you don't stop moving to the direction you're going as a way to interact with the environment, in this case with these walls. The idea is that if you hit the wall, you are safe. That's not 100% true, however, for one, like the wall on top. This wall on the top right, if you hit it not from the very top, but like you barely hit it on the bottom, you're still gonna die to this spike. Which kinda sucks, but yeah, the idea is that you try to hit these walls with a lot of enthusiasm. That's the idea, pretty much. But yeah, this is the intended way of doing it. I saw Echo and maybe Draenor as well, that instead Draenor actually did it how I recommended him, but Echo did it by ignoring the wall altogether, like basically doing a short hop and landing into the platform, which is also possible to do. It's just a harder way of doing it. It's easier if you just hit the wall with all the strength you can have. But I guess that might not be extremely obvious to figure out after all. So that's fine. Don't ya worry. Really? What kind of death was that? Come on. Got it. Damn, I almost died to that mini spike. So this is the final screen of this area. As you can see, we are reaching the mountain peak, and this screen also, if you discount some mini spikes, the screen is supposed to be almost symmetrical. I mean, there are some parts that cannot be symmetrical, obviously, but it's mostly a symmetrical screen. And it's supposed to, well, yeah, as I say, the mountain peak, which is the reason why I kinda had to make it stop snowing, because seeing the sky with just some clouds and not completely cloudy will make the snow not make any sense. Not like it has too much sense the way I'm doing it anyways, but it's okay. They are artistic limitations, let's call it that way. But in any case, this screen is a hard screen. Could be worse, but I saw the people that did this screen to struggle quite a bit. And it's understandable. I mean, it's like doing the frozen jump across a whole obstacle course without stopping is not easy at all. I personally thought it was mostly fine. I also like the way this screen looks, so maybe, I don't know, will be possible to use it as a thumbnail as well. I don't know. There are a lot of things to choose from. Oh, that's not gonna work. That ain't. There you go. Not a problem. Now we see the mountain peak. And into the clouds. Yes, these are supposed to be clouds. So, against what you will probably think, the gimmick here is normal champ refreshers. After having so many gimmicky champ refreshers, we have the normal one. No modifier at all, it's just a champ refresher. So, because of that, I tried to make some of the level design a little bit harder, as you will see later. And that almost mind broke both Draenor and Echo. Understandably so, but yeah. I mean, I also wasn't expecting it to be that hard. But I guess it ended up being that hard. But yeah, it is what it is. Now, this is a screen that was actually nerfed. No, the opposite, the buff. It used to have a checkpoint here, and I removed it because it's like it doesn't make much sense. Like that checkpoint made this screen extremely trivial. So I didn't think there was any reason to have it at all. It's obviously just like all of the other first screens of every zone. It's kinda supposed to be like a tutorial screen, so it's easier than all of the following ones. But yeah, it was way too easy. It was kinda unfitting. Yeah, it's fine. Now, I actually wonder if I can get today to the screen that Draenor was talking about. I wonder. I really do. Because it's in this zone. One of the screens in this zone. Yeah. It's very... apparently very hard. Apparently. Because it wasn't hard for me. But yeah. Also, these champ refreshers, which are supposed to be the standard ones, maybe you might notice something that doesn't normally happen, which is that they have animation. Yeah, normally they don't have animation. But I feel that without animation they look super dull. Not to mention that it doesn't go with the rest of the game where every refresher has animation, so... yeah, kinda had to... I had to go for this. And it's not like it's hard to animate. I mean, it's literally a 2-frame animation, so... you don't need to be a genius. Wow, that's a very dumb bit. Really? Now, if Draenor is hearing this song, he's probably having some PTSD right now, and I don't blame him. But yeah. I don't think I'm gonna get to that screen today, though. I feel like it's... like, it might even be like the first screen of the following stream. Probably. I like quite a few screens here. Yeah, but it probably is very hard to forget about that one screen, you know? Probably. But yeah, it's fine. It is what it is. The thing is that another interesting thing, these spikes that you're seeing here, they are quite literally the default spikes, with the little exception that they are lighter, so they look more like silver, you know? I mean, they are supposed to look like silver, mostly to contrast the ones that appear on the net's screen. That's the idea. On the net's screen, no, sorry. On the net's area, on the net zone. No. Huh, really? So I'm surprised that I'm struggling against those 3 champs in the middle. That's not supposed to be hard. Wow, I'm failing that champ too. It's fine. It's just normal champ refreshers, right? It cannot be that hard. Right? So then that champ is fucking me up. Come on. That's not that hard. Should be able to do it. It's fine. So I think that this is a good example of, because it is also relatively traditional needle. The fact that I'm struggling with it, because yeah, I guess I'm just not very built for traditional needle. A little bit hard to me. Can I die to that really? So if it's not gimmicky stuff, we kinda struggle. It has to be gimmicky stuff that I created. Playing gimmicky stuff by other people and I'm just as bad as with regular needle. Okay, that and then... Wait, no, this is... Wait, how? Oh, like that, okay, my bad. Yeah, it wasn't that hard to figure out, but I got a little bit scared there. It was a full champ inside of the spikes, but no. It wasn't. Now, I wish I could make the... Because, you know, the platforms of this zone, they are supposed to be clouds. They don't look that much like clouds. I mean, the things on the background definitely look more like clouds, but the platforms look more like a metallic flying platform, which is not the idea. They are supposed to be clouds. But yeah, it's hard to do that without animating. Well, it's hard to do that without animating them or without making their shape irregular. But if I made their shape irregular, I feel like the platforming would suck. I mean, it can suck even with the shape not being irregular, but the point is that it will be... yeah, hard to tell where you can land and where you cannot land. Another thing that a lot of people do with clouds is that they make it like Smash Bros. Platforms, in the sense that you can jump from below them to land on them. But I don't like that idea. I made it to a screen, nice, congratulations. Pretty cool. I mean, I'm probably gonna get to where you are tomorrow. So it all depends on how much I'm gonna struggle in that screen that both Echo and you struggle a lot. I really wonder. Like, I think I shouldn't, but I could. It will all depend on that. Fox. Yeah, Alliance. I mean, it depends on that, but there is also a lot of stuff on the net zone after this one that I feel like I will struggle as well. Too early to worry about that. Nice. Team, I actually died to the choke check. I can't believe it. I never died to that choke check before, but now I did. Okay. I guess we choke. We choke. Can you believe that? Okay, I did choke. Correct. It happens. Damn it. The first time I did that part properly. Really, dude? I mean, that zigzag area there with the champ refreshers, it's easy, but it's also very chokeable, because they are not full champs, the ones that you are supposed to be doing there. Okay, at least I didn't choke this time. That screen wasn't bad, but still trash. You mean the one that is similar to the one in this zone? Is that the one you mean? You see, I understand. Like, that one is a lot easier. Yeah, okay, yeah. Yeah, I know that you can get very scared, but it's easier simply because doing it very precise with a triple champ will be very hard. I mean, very hard for me to test it. Those spikes at the top were supposed to spell out letters. Yeah, I mean, it kinda looks like that. But no, it doesn't spell anything out. So now that I think about it, that's something I could have done. Like a screen where the gimmick was precisely that. Making spikes spell something out, and at the same time obviously needing to champ through that. So this is a champ that you can get a lot of attempts, as you can see here, because otherwise it's relatively hard to get, not to mention the F champ that comes afterwards. Yeah. So all that shit is very chokeable, and since there are no checkpoints, I decided to make it more, you know, more forgiving. I cannot do the F champ. The F champ will be presenting a problem right now. Okay, there you go. Oh, no, hold up then. Wasn't confident with that. I can't believe you died to that. I don't even know how you died to that. What the hell? Letters that spell Gabby. I mean, that wouldn't be that hard to do. But yeah. Now, I think that I'm thinking of what screen I should leave the stream on for today. I think the screen to leave it is that one where you start seeing something. I feel like that's the screen I should leave it on. That I actually don't even remember which one it was. But that should be the last one, I think. Could have structured it like the Gaby thing, yeah. It will probably make for some interesting needle, I think. Maybe. Perhaps. Maybe not. I don't know. Brother. Okay. At least once you get to this platform. Alright, never mind. I was gonna say once you get to that platform, you don't have to worry that much about dying. But yeah, I guess you do. Yeah, don't worry about it. There you go. Feel quite messed up to do that. Bro. Hey, I don't know why the F-Champ is filtering me right now. Oof, that was close. Simply... Well, in fact, in most of this, it's simply a straight champ. Like, most of these are possible with a straight champ. Are you kidding me? You really died to that last one. That's unbelievable. That's like the easiest champ in the whole screen. Well, it used to not be the case though. This champ actually got nerfed. Like, before the nerf, even if you did a full double champ, well, or rather, if you did a full double champ, you wouldn't make it. You needed to do a very precise champ. But now even if you do a full double champ, you get it. Well, assuming you don't hit it before getting through it, that is. That was a pretty stupid ass death, dude. I can't believe I'm failing 2 choke checks in a row. That's some very fucked up shit. How is that even possible? Oh, come on. Also, what screen is this one? Okay, so this is the 3rd one and this is the 4th one. Okay. Ideally, I would like to make it to the sit screen. So essentially, I will want to beat this screen and then the next one. And then we can do the other ones on the next stream. That's when the fun part starts. Might as well leave it for the next streams. Will be very interesting to witness though. Especially for Drain or an Echo Mask. Yeah, it's fine like that. Fine like that too. Alright, can you not choke this? There you go. See, it wasn't that hard. Oh, wait, it's actually this one. So it starts appearing on the 5th one. That's nice. But what I'm talking about is the castle, of course. We are going high enough that you can actually see the castle slowly creep in the background. But yeah. This screen is also not easy, by the way. In fact, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to beat it today. And this screen wasn't meant to be that hard. But these 2 last champs that you see here are quite hard to do. And it wasn't my intention to make these 2 champs here and here to be that hard. Unfortunately, they apparently are. I say apparently because even after testing, I didn't feel they were that hard. Draenor and Echo both struggle here. So, yeah. We will see if I can beat it. I mean, if I cannot beat this one today, I'll just leave it for the next stream. It's okay, but I think I should be able to beat this today. I mean, I want to believe I should be able to beat it tomorrow as well. But yeah, if we can beat it today, that's better. Nice champ. So, one of the keys for these two champs is that apparently these champs are align specific, or at least having a specific align, it's easier to do them. And personally, the align that I take is this one. Not because I consciously take it, but rather when I champ here, I hog this platform, which is something that neither Draenor or Echo did. They both just champ here and land. They don't use this platform, so I think that might be the reason why this screen was so hard for them, because they didn't have that align that I just inadvertently got, because that's how I play, like hogging platforms when I'm about to land on them. But yeah. I mean, it's what Yami said at some point as well, that it really depends on how you play. Depending on how you play, there are some platforms, some walls that you will touch or not, you know? That wasn't enough. But yeah, that's probably the reason why this screen ended up being as hard as it possibly is. I mean, it will still be pretty fun if I manage to do that part on the first try. I kinda doubt it, but it could happen. For now though, I just wanna beat this screen today. Then we will worry about the rest. Too low. Need to use that champ a lot higher. Like that. No. Close. Alright, I failed the last champ. Not the second to last one though. As I say, it's probably because of the align. Pretty sure that align just makes those two champs a lot easier. Well, the last one I still failed it, but it's okay. It happens. Oh, really? But yeah. Well, if I'm not mistaken, Echo also got that champ. Or was it Draenor? No, I think it was Draenor that got that champ on the top right, like on the first try, and then he struggled later, but he got it immediately. But yeah, it might happen the same thing to me now, that I might get it immediately on the first attempt and then fail it in every subsequent attempt. It's a possibility. Damn it. Also, I think I realized how to do this jump down here. Yeah, it's okay, yeah. That makes it easier. Essentially, what you wanna do on this jump is you want to do a full double jump here and just go through this whole thing in one sweep. Well, sweep, in one jump, what I'm trying to say. I mean, you still need to calculate the jump, but if you manage to do that, it's a lot easier than any other strategy. The hard part is calculating the double jump so it can be full. That is certainly the hard part. Damn it. I guess this screen is the first one that... Well, I wouldn't say it's unintentionally hard, because it was made to be hard. Just that the last jumps are the ones that are not intended to be that hard. That's the difference. I mean, I usually always try to make the last jumps not that bad to get. But yeah, in this case, not just the last one, but the two last jumps are hard. Really? But yeah, it adds to the fact that the rest of the checkpoint is not that easy either, so even getting an attempt on those last jumps is not easy at all. As you can see, takes a while to get an attempt on those. It might also be a good idea to stop the stream here simply because, I mean, the more that you play this type of games in a single session, the more exhausted you get. Damn it, dude. Want the most amount of horizontal travel distance there, without a doubt. So you probably want to delay that jump, the double jump I mean, the most you can. You want to delay that one until the very last moment. The first jump is also hard to do, because it's a jump that you're supposed to do it at the highest, well, height that you can master. Damn it, dude. I'm failing that jump a lot. That's a jump I shouldn't be failing. There are some other ones that it makes sense to fail, but not that one. And it... But yeah, this is why it's one of the... As I say, when the castle appears, it's the one time that you need to... You need to stop. It's gonna get rough. Yeah, there is this spike structure in the bottom that kinda looks like a face. Like the colon 3 face. A little bit. It's more like a W. But yeah, colon 3 will be the one to represent. Looks like that face with its tongue out. Yeah, I guess you can also look at it that way. I mean, I don't think I intended it to look like a face, but yeah, it kinda does look like a face. So I don't remember, like it might have been my intention, but I simply don't remember. Now I failed that jump. Damn. That's a problem. Oh, fuck me, dude. Hey, at this rate, it might take half an hour to beat this screen. That's bad. I think it's one of those things that, as I say, it's the pressure to try to do it fast, especially since it's the last screen I wanna do for the day, and it's like that shit is not letting me do well, or I mean, it's simply skill issue, nothing out of the ordinary, but yeah, it's a problem. I think that when I tested it, it went like that attempt where I got to like the final jump, and I simply did the final jump. So if it went like that, I took like what, 3 minutes? That's most likely the reason why this screen was left as it is. Oh, damn it, I cannot make that jump. I simply cannot. And then there is the choke check at the end. I didn't fail the choke check the times I tested this, but I could. It's a big possibility. Like, I mean, I choked 2 of them today already, of those choke checks. Nice, and I didn't fail the choke check. Got it. Well, it took longer than it should have, though. Even if it was relatively fast, it was still quite long. So here's the thing. This is the plan. I'm gonna leave this for today. This screen is whatever, it's not a big deal. Draenor did struggle a little bit, but it's not a hard screen to beat. The real problem, and the one thing that mind broke both Draenor and Echo, is the screen that comes after this one. So if you wanna see that, make sure I'm looking like one of those guys that, you know, that does advertisement and shit. But yeah, if you wanna see that screen, tune in next time, because yeah, there's a lot of bad shit out there. You think so? It might be the case. The screen I'm on now is actually making me wanna quit. Let me know which one it is, well, now that I finished the stream. Yeah, same bad time, same bad channel, and same bad chest as well. And next time on GabyOG. So what's my current time? So like almost 3 hours. Well, that's game time. It doesn't necessarily mean that it's like that. Also, well, something that I didn't show is that in every zone that you go, you get a little message on the save file. But yeah, that's something that you can see by yourself. But for now, yeah, that will be it for me for today. So thanks everyone a lot for watching, and I'll be seeing you on the next stream. So have a good one and take care.